Good day and welcome to the Sport Rep Show. I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, with the latest in the world of sport. And now for your latest on the hit list. This year's edition of the West Coast MTB Challenge and Trail Run did not disappoint. A new track record was established at this year's edition of the West Coast MTB Challenge and Trail Run, which forms part of the Gravel and Dirt MTB Marathon Series powered by Holland, Namibia. The new champion, South African Alan Hathley, pipped his Connerdale teammate Simon Andersen, second from Denmark, and Namibia's Alex Miller third to the finishing line of the 75-kilometer cycle challenge for the elite men in a photo finish at the Moonlight Resort on the outskirts of Swakopmund. The Zone VB Challenge Tour, a volleyball tour which took place over the Easter weekend, was a resounding success. Backed by a vibrant crowd and loud roars, the men from Botswana defeated Angola 2-0 in an exciting, closely contested final match at the competition, which took place at the Moller Beach in Swakopmund. The women's team from Botswana also clinched a victory against Angola 2-1 in an entertaining final match. The men's category, Angola was awarded a silver medal, while another team from Botswana was awarded a bronze medal. In the women's category, Team Angola won second place and Zimbabwe clinched third place. The Namibian Newspaper Cup football final in Otjiwarongo ended with a 2-0 scoreline, with Kavango West backing the title after defeating Otjolonjupa. Kavango West walked away with 30,000, whereas Otjolonjupa took home 20,000. Pius Capita scored the 2 goals for the Kavango West. Third place was backed by Oshana when they defeated Hardap 2-1. They also won 16,000 in the process. The national under-20 rugby team have less than 2 weeks left before traveling to the Nairobi to contest at the Rugby Africa Bathurst Trophy. The Namibian under-20 team played a warm-up friendly against the University of Namibia at the Hage Geingob Stadium last Saturday. UNAM won the match 34-31 after leading 17-10 at halftime. Head coach Rian de la Harbour gave us his thoughts after the match.
Hi, Ryan de la Harbour here, head coach of Namibia under-20s. I would just like to give my view and my reflection on the match that we've played against UNAM Rugby Club. The reason why we felt it was necessary to have a match is because we finally had our squad together for the first time ever. Most of the guys coming from outside came Friday, and we had a 35-40 minute session for the first time. And we felt we needed a game that can test the guys, especially in such a short notice of play, to be able to just see where we need to focus on. I feel what we got out of the game was exactly what we thought. We had a plan, and we knew first half was always going to be difficult because, like I said, they've never played together. We were put under a lot of pressure, and I'm glad that happened because that's part of the process. We needed to be uncomfortable so that we can know that we prepare well for the times ahead if we being put or made to suffer, to see how the boys respond. And what we would have wanted to see was that there's a fight, there's a process and a structure that we've got and a plan to see how well the guys can execute it. But we expected a better second half, which I feel we did. We did indeed. Come halftime, we made a few changes as well, and I must say that I was very impressed with how the boys conducted themselves. At the end of the day, I think it was a good run out for UNAM as well. They're a very good side, and it's kind of like what we will be expecting on the tournament, playing against Zambia and Kenya and Zimbabwe. So yeah, it was good. It was really good. So we've got 10 days now to go into camp and actually train together as a squad for the very first time. If you take out Friday's 30-minute session. We've got some really, really exciting players as individuals, but the plan is to see if we can get them to play together. So yeah, that's my reflection. I feel like obviously it wasn't about the win I wasn't interested in the scoreboard. We were interested in, can we put plays together? Can we create opportunities? How do we gain control when we suffer? Can we make the other team, force them to make errors? Just build the pressure. Learn to build the pressure, and that's what the plan really was. And also to play, just to express themselves. So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm really happy with what we've got out of it. So with that, I would like to say stay tuned and thank you.
We will now go for a short break, and after that, it is Golden Oldies. Many have seen him around, but Titus Kunamwene has also seen many places around, serving as a CAF General Coordinator. For Kunamwene, it has been about making sure that things at stadiums are organized and all details are followed. Here is what he had to share. Sport Rep is joined, that is, by Master Titus Kunamwene, one of the veteran and long-serving administrators of the Football Association. Well, he has done a few jobs within and across Africa. So, Mr. Kunamwene, just give a brief first about how it all started and how you came by to become such an influential person in terms of organization of big events across the continent.
Yeah, first and foremost, let me thank you for according me this opportunity to inform the nation, people in particular, about the kind of work that I'm particularly doing. Yeah, I'm a CAF General Coordinator, and I'm also a CAF and FIFA Facility Inspector. So with regard to CAF General Coordinator, around 2016, 2014, 2015, there was an invitation to the member association to send the names of the people who are responsible for competitions in the relevant member association. Yeah, but and then my name was given, and we attended very intensive training as general coordinators. So after that, we assigned to do assignments. I remember my first assignment was not a very easy one, but being as it is, I managed to put it through. So, but throughout the years, I've become a senior general coordinator. So, as we speak, I've attended almost all the last CAF
events.
CAF events. I was in Gabon for the AFCON in 2017. The same year, the CAF has sent me back to Gabon for the under 17 championships. After that, I did a lot of COSAFA senior as well as under 20 championships. And then in 2019, I went to Egypt as a general coordinator for the AFCON. And then the last one The last AFCON in Cameroon, I also went as a general coordinator. I was based in Garoua. And 3 weeks ago, I came back from Cairo for the AFCON Under 20 Championship.
Okay, throughout these events, is there any risk involved? I mean, traveling so much and just being out away from home for such a while. I mean, like, how does it feel?
Yeah, at the beginning it was fun. Well, it's still fun, but nowadays it's becoming a bit too much. Having responsibility at home, in the office here. So, and but at the end of the day, it's about what you are doing for the country. It's about what you are doing for the continent. So we are doing Champions League matches, Confederations Cup matches, international participation for national teams, and so on. And on top of that, as I have said earlier, I'm also a facility inspector. So we are doing an inspection for facility in order for them to meet requirements as per CAF or FIFA requirements. But all in all, it's not easy.
Yeah.
I think people at times they think that no, Titus is traveling, he's having a nice time, it's good, but it's not that easy. First and foremost, it's a lot of work. As a general coordinator, the moment you arrive, let's say if you go for a Champions League match, the moment you arrive in the country where the match is taking place, you need to make sure that all the competition aspects are in place, given security, medical aspects, your facility, the hotels where the teams are staying, the hotels where the team officials and the CAF officials are staying. And then you need to coordinate with the relevant authorities on the ground. Yeah, I remember I had a match in South Africa. I think it was Sundowns between Zesco from Zambia. That time was the time when there were these riots in Pretoria. So now, just imagine now. So you have to make sure that that match is going to take place in a secure environment. So you have to make sure that you're involved with the South African police, the army, even the community. You need to go and sensitize.
You need to be down on the ground.
You need to be down on the ground, especially on that match. Every day we used to go out around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we assess the situation on the ground for about 3 days. But at the end of the day, we ended up having a secured match.
Yes.
So those are the kind of things that you are going through. And on top of that, every day after the day, you need to send a report to CAF, informing the head office on what is happening on the ground. So it's not that you just go
and
have fun.
No, and I think let's say something is to happen and you didn't pay attention to the details. I'm sure you are going to be blamed, or you will probably even blame yourself for anything. That's why I think you mentioned the terms of it's not easy at all.
Yeah, you see, as a general coordinator, you need to concentrate on the finest details. So you need to make sure that everything is in place until to the finest detail. So, and that's why you undergo this intensive training, but also you as a person, you need to make sure that you acquaint yourself with all. Especially, you need to know the regulations of whatever competition what you are doing, and also the most important thing is also your management, how you can manage people. I mean, You know, people, you go to countries with people with different way of doing things. There are different cultures, there are different, everything is not how you do it. So what you need to do, you need to make sure that apart from the fact that there are regulations that regulate you, you need to make sure that you adapt to what the people are doing on the ground. And then you combine that with the regulation that needs to be followed.
Okay. As having so much experience and expertise, especially with countries outside Namibia, how do you manage to bring those expertise back here in the country? Is there some sort of way that you do that, in terms of also making sure that Namibia, where you come from, people are able to understand some of these rules and standards?
Yeah. Currently, I'm not really involved in the domestic leagues, in the domestic competitions. I don't know what is the reason, but in most of the international matches, unfortunately, we are not playing home. I'm responsible to make sure that all the arrangements and the aspects are in place. But all in all, I'm here and I'm available. I'm here to serve the country in all aspects. But it's not only about me. It's about also the empowering of other people. Currently, we have Helvi Eliakim. She's also a general coordinator. She just came back yesterday from Durban for the Africa School Championship. She was in Morocco, and she's doing a very tremendous job. We have Tovi, who is a security officer, and as we speak now, he's on his way to Tanzania for the Confederations Cup, and we have I think 2 match commissioner, Mabos Fries and Shilunga. But for me being there, I have to make sure that my fellow countrymen are also empowered. So we have developed a manual to train general coordinators locally. Hopefully by the end of by end of May, June, it will be finalized. It need to be approved by whoever is in charge of football, and then we start. Because at the end of the day, charity has to start at home. We need to make sure that people at home are empowered, and when CAF or FIFA is looking for people to
go globally and to work
exactly
the kind of work, we will have at least a pool to select from.
Yes.
Because like you said, people don't last forever, and sometimes you need to pave a way for predecessors and all that in terms
exactly.
of continuation.
And also on the COSAFA on the COSAFA level, we are doing a very good job. We have a pool of general coordinators that are really young people that are really coming up, and they are doing a very good job. We have Joshua Smith from South Africa. We have Putso, South Africa. Putso, she's a lady, she was in Morocco. She has done so far, I think, 2 or 3 final competitions. Zaka Zaka from Malawi, Kalot from Zimbabwe, Majindu, and there are also a third group that currently is doing work as interns, and we want to bring up these people so that at least when some of us are not around anymore, because we are not here to last, then we know exactly that how that department is taken care of.
Okay. Lastly, before we conclude, Titus, did you play football, or how did you just come up to be in such strategic positions and important positions? Was it a passion that you did from early on, as an individual?
Yeah, I think you don't need to play football to be there, but in all lessons. I've played football. I've played football in school. I've been playing for at the Hostinium. I played for the under 16 and the 18 team, and then I played for a team called Epis United in Oranienburg. I played for teenagers in Shakati. Yeah, but all in all.
So you are just born an administrator.
Yeah,
that's one
but
thing.
All in all, I think it came when I joined Civics. I wanted to play football for Civics, but when I went there was a gap in administration. I remember Brian Isaac and Harold he said, "Look, I think the team is doing good. We need someone who should
take care of the other
take
proceedings."
care of the other proceedings. And I said, okay, let's do it.
All right.
That's where it started. And then I was the team manager of Civics for 5 years. And then I enrolled in the first administration course, the FIFA Futuro, first one. I enrolled as an administrator, but I did all the 4 disciplines. I did refereeing, I did sports medicine, and I did coaching. But I ended up being in administration. So after that, I was part of the organizing committee of the NFA with IMS, I think, with the IMS Namaste region. And then I joined the association as a sports coordinator.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good day, everyone. Time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news. It is the play season that starts for the men's side. The women's season will also start very soon. And a big tournament being played in Monte Carlo. It is the ATP Thousands tournament. It is the Monte Carlo Masters, and it is results from the round of 64 that's in. It is Dominic Thiem of Austria. He's through to the next round, and he beat Richard Gasquet of France. Good win for Dominic Thiem. He won by 6-1 and 6-4. And Dominic Thiem, a former world top 5 player. Also, Alex de Minaur, he is from Australia. He beat the experienced Andy Murray of Scotland, of the United Kingdom. He beat him also convincingly 6-1 and 6-3. Then Sam Wawrinka, also a former major winner. He beat Talen Griekspoor of the Netherlands by 5-7, 6-3 and 6-4. And he's through to the next round, where he will play the American Taylor Fritz. Number 1 seed for this tournament is Novak Djokovic, and he will play Ivan Gabov. He is from Russia in the first round, in the round of 64. And then the second seed is Stefanos Tsitsipas, and number 3 seed is Daniil Medvedev, a very strong field playing in the Monte Carlo Masters. Moving on to soccer news, and it is Leicester City, the soccer club in England, that announced that they've got a new coach for the rest of the season. And the former Norwich coach and also Aston Villa coach, his name is Dean Smith. So Dean Smith, experience having been a coach of Norwich and Aston Villa, and he will take over for the rest of the season. He replaces Brendan Rodgers, that was sacked just a few weeks ago. But since Rodgers was sacked, Leicester City continue to lose 4 games in a row. They're second from bottom now in the English Premier League, very close to relegation. The top 3 teams go down, is relegated every season. So a tough assignment for him. Very tough weekend coming up also for Leicester City. In the first game for Dean Smith, they need to travel to Manchester City, that's second on the lock and the defending league champions. And so Leicester City playing Manchester City away in their first game for Dean Smith. Continuing international sports news with golf news, and the next tournament on the PGA Men's Tour is the RBC Heritage Tournament being played at Hilton Head. And news from the PGA is that Rory McIlroy, the world number 3, announced that he will withdraw from the tournament. He's not going to be able to play in the tournament, and it is McIlroy that didn't have a good Masters tournament that just concluded the past weekend. He missed the cut with rounds of 72 and 77. There might be implications for Rory McIlroy regarding his rewards and bonuses, and all the top 20 players on the PGA required to play designated tournaments or events to qualify for bonuses in the end of the year. They're allowed to miss one tournament in the year, but already Rory McIlroy missed the first one, won the first designated tournament. That was a Century tournament. That was the first of the season. McIlroy received almost $8 million in rewards and bonuses for the 2022 season. Closing off today's international sports news with soccer news and anticipation growing. That is for the Women's World Cup soccer tournament that starts on the 20th of July. That will be in Australia and New Zealand. And FIFA announced that they expect a record attendance. Already 650,000 tickets been sold, and the next phase of tickets being put on sale has opened this week. FIFA also expect that 2 billion viewers will view the tournament. That is expected to be double the amount of viewers that was 4 years ago in France, when it was the USA, United States of America, that won the previous World Cup. South Africa did qualify for the tournament. There's 3 other teams from Africa in the tournament. That will be Morocco, also Zambia and Nigeria. South Africa in a tough pool. They play in a group with Argentina, also Italy and also Sweden. South Africa's first game will be the 23rd of July. That will be in Wellington when they play against Sweden. That's international sport news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk again tomorrow. Goodbye.
And that brings us to the end of today's show. Catch the Sport Wrap again tomorrow at the same time and place. Goodbye.